With only 7 days to go before the Hinman emails end up in the public domain, XRP has taken a bit of a tumble. Is this the opportunity that you've been waiting for to get into your position for XRP, or is there actually a little bit more bleeding yet to come here for the price action of XRP? In this video, we're going to be jumping down right into the technical analysis of what is going on with that price action and what I think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new, consider subscribing, and you can always unsubscribe later. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what you're waiting for, check it out, linked in the description below. It's completely free, and it's the first place that we go to notify you of everything that's going on in the crypto space. Let's waste no more time. Let's jump right down into the charts here and take a look at what's going on for XRP. We're going to start things off with this 1 hour chart. Okay, on this hourly chart, we are going to be taking a look at smart money concepts. Okay, so we can still see that although we've had this move to the downside here, which is a little alarming, we are still in a bullish structure. We haven't broken that. Okay, so that's a positive. There is, of course, the worry. Okay, and the worry here is that we are in a 5-wave structure. Okay, and we are. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, coming down into 5th, right? Now, this is a problem because if you start with 5, you must end in 5. However, it is also equally possible to not be in an impulsive trend structure to the downside or a zigzag structure to the downside. It is also possible that we're just in a flat correction. And a flat correction would be actually quite bullish for the price action of XRP. Something that we have to consider here, considering everything that's going on, is a big giant irregular flat correction like this. This is irregular as per the name because it's not normally what you'd expect to see. Okay, normally you'd expect to see things like 535 or 53535, and if you start with 5, you end in 5, right? And I'm proposing here that, considering everything that's going on with the lawsuit, with the SEC, with Ripple, and I think with retail investors generally, I actually would think that we're likely to either invalidate this idea of a 5-wave structured move to the downside. This would happen at 52.77 cents, or alternatively, we complete it and we are in the irregular flat correction, this ABC structure. Okay, the B wave goes up higher than the origin of the A wave, and the C wave comes down lower than the A wave. Now, this is an extreme variation because I think we've actually exceeded quite a bit of this movement. So, for example, here, if I take this measurement, we can see that we come up to the 1.618. It's literally right on there on the nose of that one, right? And so we want to be a little bit considerate of what that might mean, okay, in terms of the structure. Then, of course, the reverse is true. When we start taking a look at this, we've come down quite a bit, pretty much typically actually to just short of the 1.382. So again, some interesting developments nonetheless. So I think an irregular flat is something that we may consider here within our options. However, for now, we need to consider that we're up in this wave 4 and we're looking for a little bit more to the downside. Okay, now where would that go? Okay, if we fail to invalidate the structure, as in we fail to push the price higher than 52.77 cents, then unfortunately we're going to be talking about having to come down here, and it's going to be between 47.04 and 48.04. Okay, you can see I've a little bit off on my drawing there, but you can kind of see that's exactly the numbers that we're looking for, right, in this range. So this area would basically complete our 5th wave movement, which should either be the beginning of a structured move to the downside or the end of an irregular flat correction. Okay, and so those are the two options that we have there. Now, smart money concepts is basically telling us that we have a strong low, and it's a strong low because we're still in a bullish structure. So weak low, weak high, strong low, essentially, meaning that we still have that potential move to the upside. And this kind of supports the idea of irregular flat correction because essentially the price action here is still looking to move up longer term, right, than it is to move down. Now, on our stochastic RSI, we're oversold on the 4-hour and the 8-hour charts, but we've still got some room to the downside on the 1 hour. So we are looking for that price movement to the downside. Here you can see that we had the zigzag pattern to the upside here, and essentially that was a 3-wave pattern. Over this side, we also have a 3-wave pattern. It's actually really badly drawn. Let me draw that again. It's going to be this one here. So we are, can even draw it properly, 3-wave pattern right in here. Okay, and then we come up here in this zigzag. Now what's peculiar is this area here actually, because it is a double bottom, so we may even want to kind of consider that we've done something to this effect. Double bottom here, and then zigzag pattern to the upside. And at the moment, what we're saying is we have the potential now to come on down again like this, okay, and basically be retesting some of those lows. Again, I would look at that as potential irregular flat, but also at the same time, it is possible that it is a zigzag pattern 535 or impulsive 53535 at some point in the future. Okay, but that'll be further down the line. I don't think that's going to be the case because I think we're going to see a lot more FOMO when it comes to these Hinman emails. Now, with everything that's going on with Binance and the SEC, in the same way that you have Ripple on the SEC or Coinbase and the SEC are overreaching. And is Gary Gensler going to be doing a 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧𝗏? Is he going to basically just file all these lawsuits and then just fuck off? Who knows? It just shows a lot about character, really. Essentially, calling things like Cardano a security is just mind-boggling to me, considering it was a fair launch in Japan, at least I believe it was in Japan, and had absolutely nothing to do with the US. And so we can see the same with Algorand as well, and a whole host of others that are being accused as unregistered securities and so forth. I just think that there's an overreach when it comes to the SEC. Not only were they overstepping and overreaching, trying to take on Ripple, which they haven't done a very good job at, they're also now, trying to overstep and overreach on Coinbase and Binance, and they won't be the only ones. I think there'll be a whole host more exchanges as well that will end up getting lawsuits filed against them just because the SEC simply cannot understand what a digital asset is. It does seem to be a problem with the US, mainly I think it's all about power and trying to make sure that the US dollar has dominance, but ultimately I think that's failing quite rapidly at the moment as well. So it'll be interesting to see the next recent developments as they unfold for Binance and the SEC and Ripple and the SEC. And I think those Hinman emails are just going to show you the level of corruption that exists at the SEC, and we're only 7 days away from that. So all eyes are going to be all over the SEC, and I think Gary Gensler is either going to be the monkey that gets his head handed to him, essentially, and basically ends up having to kind of take a fall on the knife, I think is the terminology I guess I'm trying to find there. Someone's going to be taking the blame. It's going to be Gary, but the corruption goes much deeper than just one man, of course. So I think all these emails, when they come out, it's going to be very apparent that there's a bias, there's an agenda, and I think that the public are not going to stand for it for terribly too much longer. We shall see. I mean, the governments have managed to get away with an awful lot over the recent years, and let's see if the public will actually be able to stand up for something and actually do the right thing and force these government officials into early retirement, in my opinion. At least that's what I would like to see. Not how it happens, unfortunately, with a lot of these corrupt individuals. They go off onto other kind of private ventures that they are paid to kind of deal with things whilst in government and so forth. Anyway, I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole there, and I don't want to do that. So taking a look back on the XRP side of things, on the daily time frame, smart money concepts, you can see some fair value gaps. I don't think we're going to be looking at those. There is, of course, the low down here, 47 to 48, right? And you can kind of see that falls in line with the 50 EMA. 50 EMA has been a good level of support on the 1 hour chart. Could this be the area of support that we find here for an irregular flat and then a move to the upside afterwards? Ultimately, I'm pretty positive, I think, about the price action of where I think XRP is going, and at the moment I think we're just going to have to see a little bit of accumulation as price comes down, but for the most part I'm expecting a significant surge to the upside as these emails come out. But we'll see how that kind of plays out. Let me know in the comments below, do you think this is going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news? Do you think this recent shake of the market is going to change that? If so, and do you think actually this is just a fantastic opportunity to get a little bit of a better position in XRP before what happens within the next 7 days, or as we start to see clarity to come towards the end of this lawsuit, what you think the price action will be like? Do you think we're going to be going into new all-time highs and all that kind of good stuff? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this useful, smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe. Don't forget to join us down in Discord, and guys, I'll catch you all in the next one.